Hi, welcome back to our next training session. I am Hitendra Kumar Shah, pharmaceutical compliance consultant, CGMP trainer and auditor from NADH plus GXP compliance services. Let us discuss about the process capability. Yes, our today's topic is a process capability, and let us discuss about what is meant by process capability. So, the process capability refers to the normal behavior of a process when operating in a state of statistical control. Now, let us understand this concept and this meaning of this process capability in a simple way. In the displayed picture, there are four scenarios, scenario A, B, C and D. In these four scenarios, there are four different parking slots and four different vehicles are parked. Now let us focus on first example, scenario A, B and D. So, the vehicles in the scenario A, B and D, the vehicles are parked exactly at the center position. Yes, the vehicles are parked exactly at the center position of the slot. But there is a slight difference among each other. What is the difference? Let us understand with respect to this process capability. In case of A, the parking slot is exactly suitable with respect to the vehicle size. While in case of B and D, although the parking process is centric or under control, the parking slot is not suitable. We need to have the suitable parking slot for scenario B as well as scenario D. So, in case of B, the parking slot need to be widened. So that by considering the vehicle size, we have to widen the parking slot. While in case of scenario D, vehicle size is small and hence we have to narrow down the parking slot. Now let us understand the example C. In the scenario C, the parking process is not centric. It is slightly at the right side. And also the parking slot also very wide. So in case of scenario C, we have to focus on parking process so that it will be a centric, and also we have to focus on the slot area. Hope you are getting my point. If you consider the same example with respect to the pharmaceutical manufacturing process, we will come to know that parking process is just like our manufacturing process. So here, the parking process should be exactly within the slot provided, correct? Same way, in our pharmaceutical manufacturing, the product should be manufactured within the upper and lower limit provided in the specification. So by following the same thought in the pharmaceutical manufacturing, we can evaluate the process capability so as to understand whether our manufacturing process focusing towards the targeted value, and also whether the limits, upper and lower limits, or maybe only one limit may be there. So whether these limits are suitable for the product. Hope you understood the concept of process capability with this simple example. Now, the next question is how to calculate the process capability. For this, we have to calculate the process capability index. The process capability index are CP and CPK. When there are two different limits, for example, upper limit and a lower limit, in such a case, we can easily calculate CP as a process capability index. The formula for CP is very simple. We have to subtract lower specification limit from upper specification limit and divide this with the 6 sigma value. So we will get the value of CP. Now let us calculate the CP with this simple example. There are number of batches from batch number A to batch number M, and for each batch there is a different assay value. The specification limit for this product is having lower specification limit as well as upper specification limit. In this case, the upper specification limit for assay is 105%, and while the lower specification limit is 95%. Now, if we calculate the CP and put the formula, then CP is equal to upper limit means 105 minus lower limit 95 divided by 6 sigma, we will get CP value equal to 1.18. It's very simple. The calculation of CP is also very simple. This process capability is very important while preparation of product quality review and process validation. If you want to learn this topic, we have prepared many learning videos. You can subscribe the YouTube channel and learn multiple CGMP topics under this channel as a free learning platform. Okay, now let us understand the process capability index CPK. Hope you understood our earlier process capability index CP, and now we will focus in understanding of the next process capability index CPK. Many times in the specification there may be only one limit. For example, in case of dissolution test, where we will have only one limit. For example, in dissolution test the limit will be not less than 85%. So that means in dissolution there will be only lower limit, there may not be upper limit. So in such a case, we may not able to calculate the CP. So in such a case, we have to calculate CPK only. So how we can calculate CPK? Again, for CPK calculation, there is a very simple formula. Suppose there is only upper limit for any specification. So how we will calculate? For the specification where we have only upper limit, the CPK formula is CPK for upper specification limit equal to upper specification limit minus average of the all values divided by 3 sigma. That's it. And suppose the specification is having only lower value. Just like I took example of dissolution where there is a CPK lower limit, correct? So what is the formula for CPK lower limit? CPK lower limit specification equal to average minus lower specification limit divided by 3 sigma. Now let us understand a scenario, a same example where we will have the both limit, upper specification limit as well as lower specification limit. For example, just now we consider this example assay. We can calculate CPK in the same example where we already calculated the CP. If we calculate CPK for this same example, we will get the two different values. One value will be for CPK upper specification limit and another value will be CPK lower specification limit. So now, suppose if we say with the same example and we calculate this CPK for upper and lower specification limit, then we will come to know that by following this formula, we will come to know that CPK lower value is equal to 1.12 and CPK upper value is what? 1.23. Now in such a case, what we have to do for reporting of the CPK value, we have to report whichever is the lower value. So here the lower value is 1.12 and hence this 1.12 value can be considered as a CPK for this case. Hope you got my point, because here we took an example where the CPK value is calculated where there are two different limits, upper limits and lower limit. Now let us calculate CPK for upper value only. For example, in this case, same batches are there, batch number A to M, and all batches are having the results for water content. So in the water content, there is only upper specification limit, like not more than 8%. So now, if we want to calculate the CPK for this case, we have to consider the CPK upper value only or CPK for upper limit only. If we calculate the CPK upper limit as per the formula, we will come to know that CPK upper value is 2.31. Now, similarly, let us calculate the CPK for lower value by taking the same batches A to M with the specification or the test for dissolution. So these are the dissolution results for the batches A to M. And similar way, if we calculate the CPK lower, because here the limit will be CPK lower. For dissolution test, the lower limit is not less than 85%. So here we can calculate CPK lower. So if we apply the formula for calculation of the CPK lower, we will come to know that the CPK lower value is 1.86. So CPK for this case is 1.86. Hope now you understood the clear concept about the process capability and how we should calculate the process capability by following the process capability tools. Many people ask me about services, what services we provide. So I would like to inform you that we provide complete end-to-end solution for audit and compliance services, which include all these services. If you need any question or clarification, you can contact us. No problem, we will revert back to you about our services. Due to some time or financial constraints, if you cannot attend our in-house training or workshop, you can learn multiple our CGMP training topics from our all videos. I request you to share all these video links to the social media platforms so that your all colleagues can learn all these points. They can get benefit from this training topics. And further, I request all of you to subscribe this YouTube channel because I have created this YouTube channel as a free learning platform for all the people. So if you subscribe this YouTube channel, you will get notifications for all learning videos and even the free learning webinars. The subscribing YouTube channel is absolutely free of cost. Again, I am telling you, the subscribing of the YouTube channel is absolutely free of cost. If you are interested in any other topic, you please feel free to contact us. Thank you so much and ensure all-time compliance. Thank you.